Ahoy everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my video blog for London Film and Comic Con 2016. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, do so, unless you're not interested, but that covered Saturday, this will cover Sunday. If you're not interested, sod you. Yes, so where are we? Sunday. Got up, silly o'clock again, 4:45, left about 5:30, easy journey in. I was a bit concerned because there was road closures in London for this big cycle race they had there, but thankfully it was westbound and I was heading east, so it didn't affect me. There was a possibility it might affect me coming home, but I was going to worry about that when I came home. Got to a venue, similar sort of time, about 7:30, went into the loading area, and I was probably just over 100 people from the front this time. It was much quieter, as Sundays have historically been, apart from last year. So waited around till doors opened at 9, headed straight up to get virtual queue tickets as usual. Managed to get very low numbers for everybody. The highest one I got was 100 and... no, wasn't even that. The highest one I got was 94. The other ones I picked up were stupidly low. Once again, I had a photo shoot at 9:30, so I headed to that first. That was with Sean Mayer, who I met yesterday. Quick reminder, in case you haven't watched part 1, Dr. Simon Tam in Firefly and Serenity. Again, not overly chatty, but very nice. As my photo went to be taken, the flash didn't work on the camera, so we had to sort of stand there for a couple of seconds while he cleared the system and got it working again. But he wasn't one to have a joke about it. We just sort of stood there and smiled at each other. And then this was a photo that was taken. After that, what did I do after that? I've just realised I haven't changed the Sunday sheet, bear with me. Sunday number 2. Oh yes. So yes, second for Sunday, I went and got the autograph of Jack Gleason, who I had a photo shoot with on Saturday. Saturday, when he was at his autograph table, he was posing for photos, which meant he was going very slowly. So by the time I left, he was only on number up to 160, and I was 212, I think, or something like that. He was the first ticket I picked up Sunday morning, and I was number 40 something, and by the time I'd come out of my photo shoot he was already up to 60. So picked a nice image of him as Joffrey. Again, he matched his reputation of being a really nice guy. We had a little chat about the business of the event. He asked if I'd been there on Friday. I said I hadn't because I had to do the horrible work thing, so he asked where I worked and what it was like. And seemed genuinely interested, and then he said it was nice to meet me and thanked me and shook my hand. Yeah, really nice guy. So this is a photo he signed for me. Then I headed along and got Harold Perrineau, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was in Lost as... oh, I am terrible with character names from Lost. I can't remember his either. Again, Michael. Ignore that. It was Michael. He had the little boy and the dog. Vanished halfway through the series, came back later on. If you've seen it, you know. If you haven't seen it, you're not going to watch it by now anyway. Or you'll have forgotten by the time you watch it. He was also in the second and third Matrix film, and he's done lots of other things. Really nice guy. Sort of guy who, at the end of every sentence, sort of giggles. We were chatting about how busy it had been the previous day and how much more civilised it was. How much he was enjoying himself, but he got home 7:30 yesterday. Hotel. And just crashed out, and when he woke up a few hours later, and there was all these messages from the other guests saying we're at such and such a place, come and join us, and he just, just too old for that. he saw I had my camera in my hand, so I didn't even have to ask him. He got up to have a photo with me. Crew member took a couple. Second one was slightly better. There's not much difference between them, so I'll show you them both. It's a photo he signed for me, lost photo. And these are the two pictures. Sorry, talking too much. Need to keep lubricating, as the vicar said. Next, head round to on to Laurie Holden. Laurie played. I looked this up just a minute ago because I can never remember Captain Andrea. Laurie played Andrea in The Walking Dead. She was also in quite a few episodes of The X-Files. She's done lots of other stuff as well. She played Thing's girlfriend in the first two Fantastic Four films, the Jessica Alba, Chris Evans version. Yeah, she's done lots of stuff as well. Guy couple in front of me had a DVD of, I think it was The Martian Chronicles, which was a TV series she was in. I looked this up earlier, that's why I can reel it off. She was in 3 episodes of back in 1980 for her to sign. And she said, wow, I have never signed this before in my life. She had to take a photo of it so she could presumably post it on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere. I didn't see it on her Twitters, but it might appear at some point. And then she was telling me a bit about how she got into showbiz, which was an interesting story, and you can read about it on our Wikipedia page. But yeah, very nice lady. Had a nice little chat about the X-Files. It's only just over a month since I've finished watching the whole series on DVD, so it was fresh in my mind. So we were chatting about that and how her character, or how she was underused, and although she agreed, she could see why, because it kept the mystery of the character, etc. But we had a nice little chat about that. Yes, so this is a photo she signed for me. In my records I had that she was only £15 a signature, so I was going to get a Walking Dead one and an X-Files one. As it was, she was 25. I don't know if that was my mistake or what. It probably was mine. So in the end I just got the Walking Dead one. I don't recall seeing a decent X-Files one on her desk anyway, so I probably might have only got one anyway. But yes, that was Laurie. From there I headed round to photo shoot, which was with, I had a little run of photo shoots now, all in the same photo area. It was Michelle Gomez, who I'd met yesterday, well, Saturday. Lot of fun, as I said in part 1, mad as a box of frogs, doing poses with everyone, most of them with girls. She was sort of it's hard to explain, but she's sort of cocking her legs coquettishly and sort of side by side, face to face, and with blokes by and large back to back. And she'd scoot round. What she'd do, she'd turn away from the camera, and then the photographer would shout down 3, 2, and at the last minute she'd sort of turn around and pull a pose. So I went up, did the back to back, and we did the pose, and it was excellent. Really, what I didn't think, me side on, not a good look. So in this picture of my photo shoot, just ignore the big fat stomach. Just look at Michelle, because she's lovely, and as you can see she's got bunny ears on as well, and I don't know why I did that. But yes, this is my photo shoot with Michelle. As I came out, I was loitering because there was a small photo shoot and then I had another one there, so I was loitering, and my friend Sam came up and we had a little chat whilst I was waiting, which was nice. my next photo shoot was, because, you know, it'd been a whole day since I'd had one, was with Natalia Tenner. And as you may have already spotted, I was in a different Molotov Jukebox t-shirt yesterday, Sunday. So, again, she saw me, saw my t-shirt, big hug, and pointing at the t-shirt photo, similar to Saturday's, but she's on the other side of me, and different facial expression, and I'm pointing as well this time. So this is me and Nat on Sunday. So, 2 Nat Tenner hugs in 2 days. I'm a happy chappy. Then I had a little wander around, because I had half an hour until... from there I dashed over to see if I could get in at the end of the photo shoot that I would have had at the end of the day, because it was one that was in 2 sessions, but it had finished by the time I got there, so I couldn't. Then I had a little wander around because I had about half an hour until it was back to the same photo area for my photo with Laurie Holden. My friend Sam had the same shoot, so we queued up together and were chatting. Made us laugh as we got in. Again, this is probably what all of them, I'll say again, I had this conversation with Sam, probably what all the stars do is that they go in, they have a test shot, they look at it, make themselves look beautiful, and then we all go in and get our shoot. It just happened that this time we happened to be in there when it happened. So she was looking at the test photo they'd done and getting her assistant to do her makeup and, you know, get rid of the shine in necessary places and etc. Sorry about any shaky, got excited. Went up, very pleasant for photos, etc. Sam was in front of me, she went up for hers. As she got there, Laurie stopped the shoot, called for her assistant. Sam sort of looking at me as if so, what's going on, what have I done? But what it was, when she was having trouble with her shawl and she wanted her assistant to adjust it. So, did fine, tucked it all in, no problem, clipped it up, went back to the shoot, took a photo of her and Sam, and the camera didn't work. So again, Sam sort of stood there whilst he sorted it. Eventually she got hers, I went up, got mine, no problems, and we were both happy with our shoots. So yes, this is me with Laurie Holden. Then I had lots of time to kill until my last photo shoot and only a few guests to get. There's a couple of guests I decided not to get for various reasons, which mainly was whim at the time. I just didn't feel it, if you like. But one I was really looking forward to getting and was pleased I did get was Donald Sumpter. Again, an actor who's been in a hell of a lot. Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Being Human, career going back millennia. Proper decent quality actor. As I said to him, he's a fantastic actor and it's always a sign of class if he's in something. At which point he looked up, he put his arm on my shoulder, shook it and said thank you very much, looking deep in my eyes, and he clearly appreciated the comment. This photo he signed for me from Game of Thrones. Pleased that he was taking photos at the table, because he was slightly limited hours. He was only there from 10 till 5, whereas most people by and large were there from around opening at 9 till 6. But yes, took a photo and this is me with him. And again he thanked me profusely as I left. Yeah, very pleased with him, very nice man and very talented guy. After that was Nat. Finally, I've been putting Nat off till late in the afternoon because I knew what a wonderful experience it would be. But I had a couple of photos for Nat Tenner to sign. So I've met her, what was this? This was the 4th time I've met her for autographs, and they were my 3rd and 4th photo shoot with her. Yeah. Yes. And first time I met her, I'd had a shoot of a table rather than a professional shoot. But yes, she was meant to appear at London Comic Con last year, but I had to cancel at the last minute because her band, Molotov Jukebox, had festival gigs. So when she'd been announced for that, shortly afterwards, I hope you're following this, they performed a gig. It was in January of 2015 at Bristol, and a photographer called Faye Hedges took a load of photos of the gig, and they got posted on Facebook. There was a couple of images in there, and with intense coloured lighting, a green one and a purple one, as you can see, which I absolutely loved. So rather than stealing the images and getting them printed off, I contacted Faye Hedges and asked her if I could buy prints of them from her to get Nat to sign in July. She looked on my website and complimented that and said, yeah, that would be absolutely no problem. I have no problem with you posting them on your website. I said I'll give her credit for it, and said, yeah, that'd be lovely, thank you. Came up with a quote. It was more than I was expecting. I won't go into details here, but I paid it. Paid her, waited a while, but then eventually I had to sort of prompt her, but eventually she got them done. They didn't come out as well in print as they looked on screen. So as a kind gesture, she added an extra image, which was a band shot from behind. Which I don't know if you can. Laid it this down and it'll look seamless, I'm sure. Or I might leave it there. Yeah, you can sort of make it out. Yeah, so there's Nat. Where are we? There's Nat and Sam and the rest of the band, Angus and Tom, etc. But yes, so she added that. She threw that one in as a bonus, which was nice of her. But yes, so I've had these photos floating around for over a year. So it's nice to finally get them signed. So when I put them down in front of Nat, after she said, "Oh, hello again," she saw, I think it's the green one in particular. She said, "God, I look mad there." I said, "Yep, that's you." And we laughed, and she signed them for me, put nice inscriptions on them. Thank you for your support on one of them, and keep dancing like a tropical gypsy, which is the name of their last album. On the other, I thanked her profusely because I've been a fan ever since they were formed, basically. Never got a chance to see them live because they haven't played. They played once in Southampton, which a few years ago, but I couldn't go because of work. But then they announced a tour for April, and they announced this back turn of the year-ish, might have been before, might have been just after. It was a date I knew I could make, so I booked tickets, really looking forward to it. 2 days before, Prince died. If you know me, you know Prince is my world. Since that day, I've worn this every day. I adore the man, always will. I was devastated, we'll leave it at that. Nearly didn't go to the gig. In the end, I figured what he'd want is for me to celebrate, as he put it, sorry, can't speak of him in the past tense even, real music for real musicians. So I went to the gig. I danced stupidly like nobody was looking for the whole show, and I left with a big smile on my face, and it made a big difference to me. So I told her this a bit more succinctly, because I knew I'd start going. So a bit more succinctly, but she reached up, grabbed my hand, said, "Oh, thank you, you know, that's so nice to hear, I'll tell the rest of the band." I did tweet similar at the time, but yeah, she could tell what it meant to me. Anyway, so I wanted to tell her that. But yes, these are the photos she signed for me. Yes. A little bit more waiting around to do. I wanted to get Rutger Hauer. I had relatively no, well, what was it, 94 I think was my virtual queue ticket for him. And every time I went over to try and get it, either he wasn't there, which is fair enough, they had shoots, breaks, etc. We might even know how to talk. But then a couple of times I went up. They were calling, first of all they were calling up to 150, so I went to join the queue, only for them to say, oh, we're not letting anybody in the queue at the moment, it's too busy, the queue's too long. If the queue's too long, why is the number up so high? It really pisses me off. The idea of a virtual queue system is you call it in small batches so that the queue's kept to a minimum. If they're raising it too high, then you're going to get a massive queue, because more people will join the queue. It's simple maths. Anyway, so I went away, came back, it was now calling up to 200, so they'd raised it by 50, and they were still not letting people into the queue because it was too long and too busy. So, in the end, I thought, fuck 'em. And didn't get his autograph. I wasn't overly concerned. He's an actor I like, he's been in lots of things I like. So I wasn't over concerned about missing for him, but I did want to get a Blade Runner picture signed for my mum's boyfriend Dave. Because Blade Runner's his favourite film. He's been going through a bad time lately, so I wanted a little something for him. But anyway, sadly it wasn't to be. So, loitered around a bit longer, and then I finally had my last photo shoot of the weekend, which was with Jeremy Renner, so I ended both days the same way. Again, got through no problem. That was the one I was hoped to get to the lunchtime session for. Even though he must have had probably over the weekend 2,000 photos taken of him, he was fresh face, he was greeting everybody, grabbed and shook my hand, thanked me for coming, etc. He's just a real pro, and won't hear a bad word said against him. But this is my photo with Jeremy Renner. That was it. Came home. Thankfully, roads were open by the time I left. It was about 4:30ish. Took a while to get out of London because traffic was a mare, but at least I knew the route because the roads I wanted were open. Just letting Sasha out. I stopped off for a meal on my way home. Make a change from McDonald's today before I had a Burger King, but you don't really care about that. Yeah, so that was it. Overall, very good weekend. So disappointed in Famke Janssen. Organisation wise, apart from the queuing for Rutger Hauer, yeah, otherwise can't really fault it. Layout, only issue I had with that really was they had sets of guests opposite each other, and when you had busy guests with fairly long queues sort of facing each other, it meant it was a blockade and you couldn't get through. They fixed that slightly on the Sunday by moving busier guests to the end of their rows and what have you. So it made it slightly easier, but the whole thing could have been saved if they just didn't have them guests facing each other. There was plenty of room. They could have had them round the edge of one of the concourses or something. I'm sure they'll look at that for next time. That's one good thing about Showmasters, is they do tend to learn from their mistakes. One of many good things about Showmasters. Yes, so that was it. Next one's Bournemouth Comic Con, which is in about first weekend in September, I think. So about 5 weeks away. I'll definitely be doing one day because there's Buffy guest who I haven't met before I want to meet. See who else is announced. Whether I ended up doing two, but there'll be some sort of vlog about that on here. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, comments. Oh, it's not it, nearly forgot, apologies. I want to say hello to Michael and William, both of whom came up to me and said they enjoy this rubbish. So thank you for watching. And William, thank you for calling me Mr. Harris. In future you may call me Martin, thank you. But yes, thank you. It's always nice when people say that they like these. I will one day work out why you do. I only started doing these for family and friends, to keep track of who I meet, because it's easier than typing it all out ish. But yes, anyway, that's it. Thank you. I'll end it there. Thanks everyone. Goodbye.